Alright, we are back in Total War Warhammer 3 because Total War themselves sponsored tonight's stream. Really had to twist my arm for it. They are celebrating the launch of Omens of Destruction, their new package of DLCs. So basically, a couple days ago, multiple things happened. A massive patch came out, a lot of nice things happened for the game. A free LC came out, which added a new playable faction for everyone, which is this right here, which includes Arbal the Undefeated, leading the Challengers of Khorne. Then, they released a DLC that has Skulltaker, this guy right here with the skull cape. And then they released a DLC that has new greenskins, Gorbad Ironclaw, who's all about, he got a plan. Follow the plan. And then there's another DLC, the final one, which has... Well, that's his name right there. I'm gonna call him Golgi Boy. Because I'm scared of getting clipped out of context. So we're gonna call him Golgi Boy. So Golgi Boy is an ogre mercenary. And as a mercenary, Golgi can get hired by anyone to kill anybody else. And then
another month on the books. Can't watch every day, but when I can watch, content is great as always.
Thank you, Beansy. So if you basically commit war crimes while you're under contract, all of the negative things that would happen to you go to the person who hired you.
Sublime!
It is sublime. So you can do horrible, like, Geneva Convention? No, Geneva Suggestions. Because, afterwards, all the hate goes to the other guy. So, in the past, on this channel, we have played a playthrough as Khorne. Obviously not the new guys, but we've played as Scarbrand. And we played as the Greenskins, but we played Rom the Paunch. We've never played any Ogre faction, which there were 2, now there are 3. So, for today, we are going to be trying my very first playthrough of Ogres, and also one of the new playable guys, which is Golgi Boy Maneater of the Maneaters, who takes mercenary contracts. So, reading the faction effects, he has access to mercenary contracts, allowing the Maneaters faction to be hired as mercs by other factions. Golgi can instantly travel to the client's settlement once per contract, so they're very nomadic. Cannot make alliances, that's ugh. Melee attack +5 when fighting against a contracted enemy. Immune to psychology when fighting against a contracted enemy. And then Lord effects, that's just Golgi himself. Income from post-battle loot +25%. Upkeep -20% for man-eaters in his army, and the ability Deadeye. And the icon is a gun. And it says magic missile type ability, which basically that means it requires line of sight between him and the target. 3 uses per battle, does stupid damage, only works if the enemy is a single entity. So not like a pack of 25 orcs, it needs to be like a lord or a hero. So basically, he has an ability, which is shoot that guy in the face. Alright, so we're gonna play Golgi. I'm pretty experienced with the game. I'm gonna play on the maximum difficulties, which is legendary for campaign and very hard for battles. And we're gonna start it here. And I will explain what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Questions are welcome because I actually know enough about this that I can answer. I am not at all new to the game, but I am new to the ogres, so we'll be reading the ogre stuff. There's a Nobbler. Nobblers are like goblins with really, really big noses. The ogres will use them sometimes in battle. I guess we can read this while we're waiting. From the icy sea of claws in the north to the soaring black mountains in the south, the individuality of the Empire's provinces is much defined by its landscape. Its vast forests provide food and the materials of production, while wide rivers and traversable valleys facilitate trade and transport. Yet at times, the land itself seems to strive against progress, concealing monsters and enemies and all sorts amongst its craggy passes and dark groves. Peril awaits within and without, but the nations of men have thus far proved equal to the challenge. Continue. Oh, yo, they come with a cutscene. Okay, not all the factions have movies.
Of Lustria to the pirate-infested shanties of Fu Chao. There are few places in this world he hasn't crossed, for fame and fortune.
It's got the same narrator.
A mercenary without equal. A living legend. No job is too perilous, no deed too violent. Every contract has its price. But to feast on his enemies, that he does for free. Golgfag man-eater. His fame surpassed only by his appetite and thirst for ale and plunder.
Load up the meat. We've got a new job.
Would this be Warhammer Fantasy, the opposite of 40k? I don't know if it's the opposite, but this is Warhammer Fantasy. It has still a lot of the same Chaos Gods, if you're familiar with 40k, like Nurgle and Khorne and stuff like that.
Nice. So, who's doing the paying and who's doing the dying?
Alright. How they play. The Man-Eaters. Satisfy your greed for gold, loot, and other rewards by accepting contracts, requiring you to engage in hostilities on behalf of other factions. Use the meat harvested from your enemies, from your army's exploits to keep them fed and increase combat effectiveness in turn, or send the surplus to the Great Maw in return for powerful advantages. Build and expand ogre camps at the cost of your army's meat stockpiles in return for higher tier buildings and other advantages over permanent settlements. Complete challenges with eligible characters to grant them big names, which come with various bonuses and abilities. Complete bounties issued by other factions for military action against targeted characters and settlements in return for rewards and improved diplomatic relations. All right. First off, I'm pretty familiar with the world map. For those who don't know it, this is Immortal Empires. This is the most popular map for playing Total War Warhammer 3. It kind of looks like if you took a map of Earth and then you kind of smeared it a bit. So right here is, South America, and then there's North America. Then there's this big donut-shaped island that doesn't exist. Canada's up here. Then Europe would be around here, and then like this is all Africa, and then over here would be Asia and Australia. And then there's landmass at the bottom for like where Antarctica would be as well. So it's a bit different. Now where am I right now? Okay, I know where I'm at. All right, that's I've played that guy before. All right, so first off, I immediately notice there's no one that's an enemy nearby. We've got a camp right here that has a lord there. So we actually start with 2 lords. That's very rare among the ones I've played so far. All right, so here's Golgi, and we've got a hero right here. So what's the hero we start with? He's got a peg leg and a big hammer. He's called a Butcher Heavens. Wait, is he a caster? Heavens is a school of magic. He is a caster. Okay, this guy can straight up drop lightning on people. That I wasn't expecting that from the ogres. Okay. So we want to put this hero in that army. All right. And then where's the new thing? Mercenary contracts. Okay, so available contracts. Ostland, which is this symbol, which is these guys, hates Nordland, which is those guys. Nordland hates Ostland. Okay, oh, I love it. So immediately, this campaign can go in 2 directions. You can join these guys and kill them, or join those guys and kill them. Right away, you get to make a choice. All right, so what are the rewards? Ostland will pay 4,300 treasury and 1,000 meat. Nordland pays less treasury, still 1,000 meat, but also gives you a entertainer, which is control over a province, and looting frenzy. For 7 turns, you get more income from raiding and sacking and looting. So less payout immediately, but more money possibly over the next 7 turns. This is kind of like, do I want to go west or go east? So if I take blue as an enemy, we're starting to go westward. If I take this guy as an enemy, I'm starting to go kind of southeast. Very interesting. And then so one of these will be my first opponent.
By the comet.
Looks like that one's actually the easier opponent. I don't really love the lame ass in either direction. Okay. Let's do this. All right. Oslin's giving me more early money. Let's take that. I'll accept Oslin's contract. So they want you to occupy, raise settlements, kill faction leaders, do raiding, battles, and just do violence. Okay, yeah, I got it. Violence. Do you wish to accept the contract? This will result in the breaking of any treaties with the client's targets, and you will be at war with them for the duration. All remaining available contracts this turn are declined.
Tempted to eat ya.
Empire contract accepted. Finish the job. All right.
Tyrant of the tribe.
Okay. So, first off,
Mercenary lord.
we got this guy right. Oh wait, what's this bar in the bottom left? Starving of keeping. Okay, so we're low on meat.
I could eat the horizon.
All right, so we got a lot of stuff here. Here's our lord.
Under a Golgfag.
And dude, what is that? Like a shark jaw? What is that? Okay. All right, let's
Mercenary man-eater.
throw him at them. Now, for the first fight of the game, it's usually one that you could just hit auto and win it. However, we're new to playing this guy. I need to see what kind of troops we got. So we're gonna go and fight battle and go into the close-up camera. Love getting paid in Gen 3 bacon. I'm gonna turn these guys into Gen 3 bacon. You know, it'd be really embarrassing, chat, as if I lost the first battle. Like, yeah, I'm gonna turn it up to maximum difficulty because I'm a gamer. And then... Alright. Start deployment. Okay, so... let's take a look at what we got.
Golgfag man-eater.
So, here's Golgi Boy. He's big even by ogre standards. He's a melee expert, anti-infantry, armor-piercing, melee, and armor. Okay, so he is just going to wreck face when he gets in there up close. We got the Butcher. This is that hero that joined the army. And he is a caster, essentially. But his only spell right now is just like a short buff he can put on someone. Alright. Pigback Riders. I don't see pigs. I'm sorry, are these goblins riding on top of other goblins? What? What? That's not pigback, that's piggyback. What is the point of these? And this one's hitting him in the head. Wait, his nose is gone. He's got a new nose duct taped on. Oh my god. Okay, what is the point of these? Expendable. Shielded, anti-large, and expendable. Okay. And then we've got normal Noblars, which are not piggyback, which are also expendable meat shields.
Golgfag's mercs.
And then we got Golgi Boys Man-Eaters, which are somehow better than normal Man-Eaters. Alright, damage dealer, anti-infantry, has ogre charge. Okay, so there's big old damage dealers. Ogre Bulls. Ogre charge, damage dealer, weak against armor. Okay, so these guys don't have armor piercing. Normal Man-Eaters, which have pirate hats. Okay. Alright, so it looks like Golgi Boys Man-Eaters are better than Man-Eaters. Lead Belchers. Oh my god, they have ship's cannons. And they appear to have cigars that they use to light the cannons. And lastly, what is this? Noblar Scrap Launcher. Okay, we've got a cow that is pulling... Oh, it's a turbucket. Alright. And then there's two goblins on the back of it that are operating this thing. Oh, okay, so that green area is the range of that device. Okay, so we don't have to even run at them. We can just hang back and make them come to us and shoot them with this thing. Okay. Judging by the design of this thing, I'm guessing the shots travel in an arc and it does not need direct line of sight, so that's cool. Let's do this. Lead Belchers, there's those guys. Now these guys probably need direct line of sight, and that is a horrible spot. Alright, let's do that. And do that. And this. Oh, these guys can start out. Usually the green area is where you start your troops, but these guys have what's called Vanguard deployment, which means they can start farther forward. Alright, so this guy, Golgi Boy, has got his gun for killing the big stuff. Alright. This is quite the hodgepodge of stuff. Alright.
Greatest dog of war!
Can't wait, boss!
Alright.
Greatest dummies!
Let's see what this thing does.
Have you tried to turn it off and on again?
That's actual garbage. It's called a scrap belcher. It's just throwing piles of garbage. Also, terrible aim. I told it to shoot those. It hit those guys. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna do right now is just harass them with range. I'm gonna increase the game speed until they get tired of getting bombarded and come running at me. This is the advantage to having a long-range unit in your army. And here they come. Oh, the lead belchers.
Lead belchers!
Yo! Those dudes got sent flying. Okay, so we don't want to move these guys because those dudes are coming in. And Golgi cast gun on that dude. Done. Alright. Alright, so these guys are trying to flank around and get to my scrap launcher. I'm trying to stop them right now. We can use this guy to cast a buff on Golgi. Okay, these guys are chasing them around. Now, for those who don't know, the white bar underneath the hit points, that's like their morale. If that runs out, that group will give up. They're basically their morale breaks.
Biggest in the tribe.
So you can sort of win just by getting that to shatter.
Lead belchers! Crunch their skulls!
Okay, the skull means that dude is done. He is just running for his life. He's like, I'm leaving. This is bullcrap. I'm out. Oh, what is this? Hold on. Dismember. Direct damage. 37 to 75 per second. Strong versus units with 25 or more entities. Spearman. Okay, so it's like a dot. Interesting.
This way! Crunch their skull!
Chat, look at this. These are the dudes riding piggyback that are chasing armored knights. The French people are retreating from goblins riding piggyback on goblins. Get them, boys! They're never gonna catch them. They're never gonna catch them. Alright. Let's see. Alright, at this point... Hold on, can you guys catch that guy, I wonder? Was he on foot or was he mounted? I could try to catch him. We'll see. Alright, so at this point we've won the battle. However, I believe you get more... Like, they're trying to retreat. Like, we've won. I could just hit end battle, but I think you get more rewards if you take out the enemy lord, which is this guy here. And it looks like our man-eaters have a higher speed than the lord. Now I can crank up the game speed to ×4 speed for this part, but I really just want to see if we can take this guy out here. This is one dude just getting mobbed by these ogres. Yep, they got him. Wonderful. Okay. So Golgi is just running through these dudes and just wrecking face. And that's good. There we go. End battle. Perfect. So, obviously, the goal is to win. The second goal would be to take as little damage as possible, because if we don't take a lot of damage, we can go pick another fight. So, I think we did a pretty good job on that. You can see, like, the guys that still have health, they made it off of the battlefield. Ideally, we would get some kind of speedy unit in our army that could run down, like, you know, the runners, basically, some kind of cavalry or something. But otherwise, you know, some of their survivors did leave the battlefield. But without a lord, they will essentially be wiped off the map. So, this is something I like to do, is after the battle, you can mouse over your units and see who pulled the most weight. So Golgi did 8,000 damage. This guy did 900, 1500, 1900, 1700, 7k, 1700, 7k damage on those, 6k, 15k. The lead belchers. Not really a surprise, but the ogres with giant cannons in their hands did a bit of carrying. And then the scrap launcher did 8k. All right, so then we have some options here. Option 1 is ransom the captives and turn them into gold. Option 2 is process the meat. Option 3 is eat them and get some health back. I think we want to process the meat, actually. So we're going to turn them into Gen 3 bacon. Big names unlocked. Okay, what is this? Throughout his recent actions, Golgi has unlocked the big name Man-Eater. You gained a follower, which increases your movement speed. Cool. Enemy killed in battle. Cool. Alright, so if we look here. Let's see. Alright, so he leveled up. He got a skill point. Now, almost always in this game, one of your very early skill points, you want to get Route Marcher, which increases the whole army's movement range. Basically, not in combat, but on this map, how much you can move each turn. It increases that. So this you want to be one of your first things on every lord. And then this is the hero that is supporting this army. Toothy Nobblers. More mana. We didn't run out of mana. Replenish troops. I think I'll probably get replenished troops. So basically, by having him in the army is recovering faster. The green is their health. The yellow is health they will recover at the end of this turn. So he's kind of like a medic for downtime. So we're gonna keep him there. So I'm gonna hit save game, and then we've killed our first opponent, and there's a town right here called Norden. So we are gonna hit Norden, and I could hit auto. What would probably happen is it would just go, okay, you won and you took 1 billion damage. You know, like, it said I would win, but I will probably be very, very hurt. And if I do it manually, I can probably win and take a whole lot less damage than what the computer would do by just automatically calculating it. Okay. So, start deployment. And what have we got? So these are the garrison defenders for that city. So this is just every city nearly every city in the game will just have a garrison of people that defend it. This is the city's garrison. So, bunch of dudes. Spears, long pointy weapons of any type, halberds, glaives, whatever, typically do bonus damage versus large. So those will do more damage versus the ogres. Sword and shield. Shields are good for blocking arrows. We don't have any, we have cannonballs. Swords are typically good versus infantry. That would be for us our noblars. So, like, for example, these guys would actually, like, for rock, paper, scissors, these guys would do more damage to our ogres than the sword guys would. And then we got some crossbowmen here, and what's over here? Spears again. Okay. So head back here. We have a new button. What is this? So dismember was there last time. Massacre. Augment an area. Okay, it's a buff. You target an area and all your people in that area get buffed. All right. All right, and this is a decent view, so we'll just put the lead belchers right here. And I'm just gonna keep these piggyback boys in the back just to deal if they try to like flank us again. And these guys can be, all of these are basically melee. Actually, you see how these are damaged a little bit? These aren't. So let's put them in front over there. And get the full health guys to deal with the opening charge. Alright. So once again, Scrap Launcher is in range of them. I'm just gonna crank the game speed up really high and shoot scrap at them until they get over here. There we go. And if possible, let's have the lead belchers shoot at those archers. You know, it does look like the lead belchers, their attacks have a slight curve, I believe. Do you guys see that? And if that's the case, like, it's like an arc. And if that is the case, that's great. Because that means that there'll be less stuff that interrupts them. Alright, bring him over there.
Above the rest.
Get it done!
Ready.
Greatest dog of war! Ogres!
Does look like a lot of their shots aren't connecting right now. Let's see. You hit that. Alright, lead belchers shoot those guys. And you use your little buff on him. There's nothing else I can do with the mana. There also is friendly fire. So I'm pretty sure my lead belchers in that last volley did some damage to my own troops, but yeah, they'll heal. If you shoot an ally and then you heal them, did they ever really get shot? That's the question. There we go. Okay, so I'm just going to end this battle as quick as possible because there's nothing really more to be gained by picking off those guys because we're literally in their city. They have nowhere to run. They will all die. And if I continue, there is simply the possibility of me making a mistake and accidentally shooting my own troops with, like, the catapults or something. So we will end that battle there. And you may recall that it said close battle when I moused over the auto-calculate button. Sometimes the auto-calculate will give you wins you have no right to win. Sometimes it will give you losses you have no right to lose. So mouse over the auto and look at what it's going to do, and then maybe take it, maybe don't. Banner of Swiftness, that's very nice. You can put that on a unit. Okay, hold on a sec. What is this? All right, typically, when you take out a city in this game, you can occupy the city, basically you take it. You can sack it, which is you just take money from them and leave. Or you can burn it to the ground, which takes the whole rest of your turn. But we've got 5 options. We've got occupy it, which I gain, let's see, the city basically loses some control. We have loot and occupy, which gives us some meat, so that presumably we're killing some people. We get some money, and the city is heavily damaged. We have sack it, which does not earn us any client satisfaction, interestingly enough. We have raise it, which is burn it down, and gift to client, which is very interesting. And we actually get the most money by giving it to our client, and that gives us the most satisfaction too. So I'm gonna try that. Gift to client.
Didn't want it anyway.
Didn't want it anyway, he said. All right, so we got the Banner of Swiftness. Okay, and since we technically didn't capture a city or burn down a city this turn, we can still move. Usually that ends your turn. All right, so now you can see this guy's territory has just grown.
Victory.
All right.
Chunky boys. Time to get in Emily belly. Dayjoy hey guys oro praise.
Thank you, Valve. Appreciate you. All right, so usually my first 2 points go to these two. Inspiring Presence gives your whole army a little bit of XP every turn, even on turns where you can't find a battle. And the other one is the movement speed.
Golgfag.
All right, so this guy